Today we will read the story so far, the personal story, and the failure or success for the respective personal story. Today, character will be Bob Jenkins. You can see him here. So let us start with the story so far. As a traveling salesman, Bob is always on the go, but yesterday he saw something that made him decide to stay in Arkham and miss his train. While he was in the general store selling his wares, a robed man came in and bought several items, paying with the old gold coins. Astounded, Bob turned to the shopkeeper for an explanation, but the man just ignored his questions, simply saying, "That happens. Sometimes." Now Bob isn't leaving until he figures out where those gold coins came from. If he plays his card right, maybe this will be the big score. Maybe he'll finally be able to retire and buy that boat he's had his eye on and spend the rest of his days fishing in a tropical paradise. And again, maybe Bob will finally come to see that all that glitters is not gold. And the uh, personal story, which is a continuation of the story so far. It cost Bob Jenkins $2 just to get one of those old coins, but now he had one. He could feel it, heavily and old, in his hand. It was a strange sort of gold, maybe an alloy, and the symbols pressed on into its surface didn't resemble any language or art that Bob was familiar with. Well, so it was a funny old coin. That just meant that was an even bigger market for it. All of the Bob's senses told him that he was onto something big, real big. And now the greed, which means that he failed his story. The old woman placed a single coin in his hand and cackled. "Take it then, and much joy may it bring you." Her hands were cold and clammy and felt like sea-water. Bob fled into the night. And the jackpot part of the story, he'd found them. Stacks and stacks of alloyed gold coins, minted by no human hand. Of course, by this time, money was the last thing on Bob Jenkins' mind. Thank you for listening, and cheers.